If you and I sleeping on the same bed and we kissing and lovey-dovey and we want to kind of route the decision in our business, you realize that I will kind of put down my gavel and object certain policies from the opposition so the government can get the contract going, so at the end of the day my consulting company can make some of that money. I smell a fish, a rotten fish.
Are there any further nominations? There be no other nominations. I have the honor of declaring the Honorable Juliet Anne-Marie Holness, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
People, did you hear that? Did you read about it? Did you watch it on TV? If you didn't, while we were so distracted about Alice taking a relief in the bucket, we missed the big dumping that took place from the Jamaican parliamentary system all over on us. Juilet Holness has now become the Speaker of the House. She's the wife of Prime Minister Andrew Holness. People, I don't know about you, but I smell what you call a conflict of interest.
Madam Speaker, welcome to the chair.
I wanted to understand the meaning of conflict of interest, so I went to Webster's dictionary. Conflict of interest is a situation in which a person is in a position to derive personal benefits from actions or decisions made in their official capacity. Talk to me, people. I smell a fish. I smell conflict of interest. People, I believe without a doubt that the office of the Prime Minister is very demanding. And I also believe, as a Speaker of the House, it's also very taxing role. That is why, in my humble opinion, I don't believe that she should go for becoming the Speaker of the House. The other speaker left on some nefarious conflict of interest. And now we have the wife of the PM assuming the role.
Madam Speaker, welcome to the chair.
Most first ladies represent their husbands in roles of charity, in roles of going out and having women's meeting and talk to people who have been through some trauma and giving them hope. Most first ladies doesn't become MP, yet become the Speaker of the House. And it makes you wonder, when both of them are so busy, I don't want to get at them business, but how do they have time for each other? I'm talking about emotional time, when they're so busy. If they're so busy, how do they get to spend time with their children? Now you kind of see the dichotomy of the situation, but let's kind of look at the conflict of interest. If you're the head of a management consulting firm and you can get government contracts and you are the Speaker of the House, then quite frankly, when there are debates on legislations and certain arguments that will benefit or should benefit the people of Jamaica, then quite frankly, if you and I sleeping on the same bed and we kissing and lovey-dovey and we want to kind of route the decision in our business, you realize that I will kind of put down my gavel and object certain policies from the opposition so the government can get the contract going, so at the end of the day my consulting company can make some of that money. I smell a fish, a rotten fish that they sell down at Coronation Market. Let me digress. I gotta give you more.
Meeting will adjourn the meeting, but meeting adjourned.
For the critics now who will say, tell you what, he's trying to say that a woman cannot have a double shift or a triple shift or a quadruple shift. No, I am not saying that. Women have many shifts. And I'm not saying that a lady cannot become prime minister or the speaker of the house. I'm looking at the optics. The optics, the glaring optics. Now, I have learned over the years about Jamaican politicians. In my humble opinion again, and that's what the thing said, they do not go in politics to serve the people. They go in politics to serve themselves. Why do you think they spend 30, 40, 50 years in politics? Their party in power and they lost the general election, and guess what? They still sit over there and come back 10, 15, 20 years after. Do you understand why the country ain't going nowhere? People, welcome to Jamrock.
MP for Clarendon Central Mike Henry is 88 years old. MP for North Central St. Andrew Carl Samuda, 81 years old. State Minister in the Science Ministry J.C. Hutchinson, 80 years old. Other MPs such as Olivia Babsy Grange, Ed Bartlett, Dr. Horace Chang, Homer Davis, Dr. Peter Phillips, Desmond Mackenzie, Delroy Chuck and Everald Warmington are all over 70 years.
These politicians are becoming dinosaurs, alligators, because they survive even asteroid. No matter where you throw them in Jamaica, they're Teflon politicians. I'm telling you people, like the Teflon Don. Where is the political objectivity? Shouldn't the Speaker of the House be like an independent MP? Where is the accountability? I smell a skunk. I smell a funky skunk. Prime Minister Holness, Juilet Holness, do you guys realize that you're a brand? You guys are already rich. You hold the office of the Prime Minister. Do you know that you are a brand? The Speaker of the House is a small thing for you. You gotta think big. You know, Napoleon says to think and grow rich. You know, Shakespeare said when you dream big because small dreams have no magic. So you guys are a brand. Now, think about it.
I say, Audley, it's a long time I don't draw for the clocks.
of Jamaica Statin says the difference between what was spent on imports versus the sum earned from exports was valued at 1.76 billion US dollars. For January to April 2022, the country's balance of visible trade was negative 1.79 billion US dollars. Now, spending on imports for January to April was 2.4 billion US dollars, up from 2.3 billion US dollars for the same period last year. Earnings from exports were up 32%, amounting to 677 million US dollars.
It's going back to the Now, I've just read a part of CJ Clark's International Limited. I just read a part of their annual statement. For their 48 weeks, less than 4 weeks, the fiscal week is 52 weeks, just like the amount of weeks in a year. They made, listen carefully now, £978.3 million sterling pounds, up from 920.3 go buy the stock like in military stock. So when war happen, you're already getting rich. We know the wrangling and the corruption and the nepotism and the cronyism. But you have to think bigger than that. Think about how much Clark's company make from selling shoes in Jamaica. Think about the amount of money that's leaving Jamaica, going to England, and so little returning back, except for remittances from diasporas. And if you only make the place safe for crime, can you imagine how much money will come to Jamaica? Let me say this to you. You see, the person or the leader who can cut crime to about 50% in Jamaica, he'll be the greatest Jamaican ever lived. That leader will be. And if you guys cut crime to 50%, that's a legacy and a brand that will make you billions. Because the number one need in Jamaica is to lower crime. It doesn't need rocket science. Common sense. Look at Bukele in El Salvador. The man just fixed up the country 4 years. And the leaders prior to you guys from 1980 can fix it. What a shame.
1,498 reported murders in Jamaica from January 1 to December 31, 2022. That's 24 more than the same period the year before.
The last election held in Jamaica, there was a 37% voter turnout. 7%. Meaning that 63% of the people are the silent majority. They're just sitting and looking and say, boy, I'm a politician, I know. The politician play games in my play. Now vote for none of them. Not voting for PMP, not voting for JLP. The silent majority, you are the majority in democracy, but you are fed up because you see the cronyism, you see the nepotism, and you see the conflict of interest. And you're upset. You want to know what do you do? Let me give you some tips here. The PMP and the JLP is Tweedledoo and Tweedledum. Both parties, left or right wing, both of them controlled by the same bird, the elites. If the elites don't want them into power, they'll never get in power. You think you're voting, the media is swaying you to where they want you to go. But at the end of the day, most of the policies that they pass or make goes to the elites. It's just how the system works. It is designed by the rich, for the rich, not for the small man. We just eat the crumbs. The silent majority, you are living in fear and you don't know what to do. That's why I post Bukele, the El Salvadoran president. You don't need the media to kind of sway you to who to vote for. All you need to do is to find a leader who is doing great in one of the communities and start to push him on Twitter, Google, and YouTube, and basically start a new party. Simple as that. And then all of you push that leader, and then when election comes, you vote out the two of them out of office. Vote them out. Because they're not fixing nothing. They're not fixing anything. We in the diaspora want to come home, but we're free like a post. Because they have not made the society welcoming for us. They say they're making fortune from tourism, but the diasporans, they could have made quadruple that from the diaspora, plus others who will come home in a safe society. So they're thinking just for themselves. That is why they stay in government for 3, 4, 5, and maybe even 6 decades doing nothing. Can't even get up what them are done. On that note, people, we get that off of my crowd. The conflict of interest was giving me heartburn, so we get it off. And you guys know what to do as usual. On a like, shares, and a subscribe because we want to grow so we can make a better Jamaica for all of us. In the meantime, family, peace out. Me gone.